Have you ever felt like you're living someone else's life? You wake up, put on your acceptable face, and step into a role you didn't choose. The dutiful child, the perfect employee, the always happy friend. But in those quiet moments when the mask slips, you wonder, who am I underneath all this? CarlJung called this the great loneliness, when you're surrounded by people but disconnected from yourself. And here's the painful truth. The world will never give you permission to be real. But what if I told you that your deepest fears, the parts you hide, the desires you suppress, are actually the doorway to your freedom? This isn't just about self-help. This is a rebellion against the invisible scripts that keep you small. So let me ask you one question. Pause. When was the last time you chose yourself, not the version others wanted, but the one your soul recognizes? That's where our journey begins. Part 1. The fake life we don't realize we're living. Have you ever woken up one morning, looked in the mirror and wondered, is this really me? Or just a version of me that everyone else has pieced together? Most of us have been there, living a life that looks good on paper but feels empty inside. Maybe you took that stable office job because it made your parents proud, while your passion for art gathers dust. Laughed at jokes you didn't find funny just to fit in. Scrolled through social media, comparing your messy reality to everyone's highlight reels. CarlJung called this our persona, the social mask we wear to belong. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The more we polish that mask, the more we forget what's underneath. The invisible cage. Think about the last time you said, I'm fine, when you weren't. Stayed in a relationship/friendship out of guilt, not love. Nodded along to opinions you disagreed with, just to avoid conflict. We do this because somewhere along the way, we learned a painful lesson. Being myself is risky. Rejection hurts. But Jung warned, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Why? Because it means facing the gap between who you are and who you pretended to be. A wake-up call. This dissonance often starts as a quiet whisper, a sudden urge to cry in the shower for no reason, feeling like a stranger in your own life. That 3 a.m. thought, there's got to be more than this. These aren't random. They're your soul knocking. I remember my breaking point. I was 26, sitting in a corporate meeting, zoning out as someone praised a project I knew was meaningless. My body literally rejected the lie. My hands shook, my throat tightened. That night, I wrote in my journal, if I die tomorrow, will any of this matter? Why we resist change. Choosing yourself isn't just about courage. It's about grieving. To live authentically, you must mourn the perfect version of you that others imagined. Release the fantasy that someday everyone will finally understand you. Asterisk accept that some relationships may fade when you stop performing. As Jung said, you are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Your first step, try this tonight. Ask yourself, what's one thing I'd do differently if no one was watching? Wear that outfit you love but think is too much. Quit the group chat that drains you. Write it down. Don't act yet. Just acknowledge the desire. This isn't about rebellion. It's about reclaiming your inner compass. But here's what no one tells you. When you start peeling off the mask, the world will push back. Part 2. The psychology of self-betrayal. Why we abandon our true selves. That moment you caught a glimpse of your true self in Part 1, here's why it's so terrifying to stay there. We all have that inner voice whispering, this isn't you, when we laugh too loud at the boss's unfunny joke. Swallow our opinions to keep the peace. Say yes while our entire body screams no. CarlJung revealed this isn't personal weakness. It's how our psyche is wired. Two powerful forces conspire to keep us trapped. One, the persona trap. Your social mask isn't inherently bad. It helps you function at work, family gatherings, and polite society. But problems arise when you mistake the mask for your face. Like an actor who forgets they're playing a role. It becomes your only identity. The dutiful daughter, reliable employee, or easygoing friend labels replace who you actually are. We don't wear our personas, they wear us. Jung observed, The scariest part? Most people never realize they're living this way. 2. The shadow's rebellion. Here's where it gets fascinating. That inexplicable rage when someone else lives freely. Self-sabotage when success comes. Attraction to inappropriate people. These aren't random. They're your shadow, the rejected parts of yourself, demanding integration. Real-life example, Sarah, a 28-year-old people-pleaser, who prided herself on never getting angry, then developed chronic migraines. Only in therapy discovered her suppressed rage was literally trying to burst through her skull. As Jung warned, what you resist not only persists but will grow in size. The brain's betrayal. Neuroscience confirms Jung's theories. Amygdala flags authenticity as dangerous. Primitive tribes needed group approval to survive. Dopamine rewards us for social conformity. That relief when you fit in is chemically addictive. This creates what psychologists call the authenticity paradox. The more you betray yourself to feel safe, the more unsafe you feel inside. Breaking the cycle. 3 signs you're ready to stop the self-betrayal. 1. Physical symptoms. Unexplained fatigue, aches or insomnia, your body's protest. 2. Cynicism, eye-rolling at things you used to pretend to enjoy. 3. Secret fantasies, imagining radically different lives, even silly ones like becoming a llama farmer. Practical step. Try this immediately after watching. 1. Notice your next I should thought. 2. Ask who says? Whose voice is this really? 3. Feel the space that opens up when you don't automatically obey. And then comes the day when pretending hurts more than being real. That's when the real magic starts. Part 3. When the mask cracks, your first real choice. Remember that moment in Part 2 when you identified your should voices? This is what happens when you stop listening. There comes a day when your soul gets too heavy to carry quietly. For me, it happened physically. Chronic back pain doctors couldn't explain. Emotionally, crying at coffee commercials. Socially, snapping at a barista over incorrect change. These aren't breakdowns. They're breakthroughs. Your authentic self pounding on the walls of your carefully constructed cage. The unmistakable turning point. You'll know it by 1. The micro revolt. Saying I'll pass to after-work drinks without making excuses. Wearing the weird outfit you love but normally save for home. Deleting the dating app because swiping feels like self-betrayal. 2. The emotional hangover. That giddy, terrified feeling after being authentic. Did I really just do that? Will they hate me now? Why does this feel so good? 3. The backlash. Here come the comments. You've changed. As if it's an accusation. Who do you think you are? When you stop playing small, don't take yourself so seriously. When you honor your boundaries. As Jung noted, the most intense conflicts, if overcome, leave behind a sense of security and calm, not easily disturbed. Why it feels like grief. Choosing yourself isn't a victory lap. It's a funeral for the people pleaser who kept you safe. The fantasy that everyone will approve of the real you. The comfort of knowing exactly who you're supposed to be. Case study Mark 31. Former golden child who quit law school to bake. Lost 80% of his social circle in 6 months. Then attracted his first real friends who loved his pastry metaphors for life. I traded being admired for being known. Best deal I ever made. The 3 stages of early authenticity. 1. Awkward phase, 2 weeks, 3 months. Overcorrecting. Going from pushover to overly blunt. Second-guessing every decision. 2. Lonely phase, 3 to 6 months. Ghosts from your past life checking if you'll go back to normal. Surprising allies emerging. Often the quiet observers who always saw you. 3. Alignment phase, 6 months plus. Decisions become easier. You feel the right choice physically. Attract opportunities that fit like a favorite sweater. Try this tonight. 1. Recall one time you did choose yourself, no matter how small. 2. Write down, how did your body feel after? Lightness, tingling, warmth. 3. That sensation is your inner compass. The more you follow it, the stronger it gets. But here's what nobody tells you about authenticity. It requires facing not just the world's judgment, but your own darkest corners. Part 4. Descending to Rise, Jung's shadow work for radical wholeness. That bold authenticity you discovered in Part 3, Jung would say you've only found half of yourself. The real gold lies in what you've been running from. After my first exhilarating months of being real, I hit a wall. My new boundaries made me feel selfish. Unexplained anger bubbled up during meditation. I dreamed of screaming at people I hadn't thought about in years. Turns out, this wasn't regression, it was progress. Jung called it meeting your shadow, the ultimate test of self-acceptance. What exactly is the shadow? Not some evil twin, but repressed traits, your hidden assertiveness, sensuality, or vulnerability. Unexpressed pain, childhood wounds you got over but never processed. Secret admirations, qualities you judge harshly in others while secretly envying them. Example, surface judgment. She's so needy, always texting her partner. Shadow truth. You crave that level of intimacy, but fear rejection. As Jung warned, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Why your shadow runs the show. Modern neuroscience confirms Jung's insight. The brain automatically represses trauma to ensure survival. These unprocessed memories form emotional flashpoints that hijack your reactions. Physical signs your shadow wants attention. Overreacting to minor slights. Why am I this upset? Attracting the same toxic relationship in different forms. Secret habits you'd never admit to and their accompanying shame. The 3-phase shadow work process. Phase 1, identification. Exercise. For 1 week, notice when you feel disproportionate anger/jealousy. Say I would never about someone's behavior. Have repetitive nightmares or fantasies. Phase 2, conversation. Instead of resisting the shadow, ask, what are you trying to protect me from? What childhood experience made you necessary? How can we honor you without letting you drive? Real life case. Emma, 29, judged lazy people while working 80-hour weeks. Her shadow revealed a terror of ending up like her unemployed father. Integration, allowing guilt-free rest every Sunday. Phase 3, alchemy, transforming shadow energy into superpowers. Shadow traits transform into integral power. Example, turn control into leadership skills. Oversensitive transforms emotional intelligence. Rebellion will innovate. Why this feels like death, and it is? Shadow work forces you to release the comforting delusion that you're the good one, victim narratives that kept you small, the addictive rush of blaming others. Jung was blunt. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. But here's the miracle on the other side awaits. Effortless boundaries, no more exhausting willpower. Magnetic confidence, from no longer hiding any part of yourself. Strange new compassion for people who used to trigger you. And just when you think the work is done, the universe sends unmistakable signs that you're on the right path, if you know how to read them. Part 5. Synchronicity. The universe whispers back. After doing the shadow work from Part 4, something magical starts happening. The world begins speaking to you in a language only your soul understands. I'll never forget my first undeniable synchronicity. Day 1, journaled about feeling disconnected from my creativity. Day 3, a stranger on the subway randomly handed me a vintage typewriter. Day 5, discovered Jung's concept of synchronicity in a used book left open to the exact page. This wasn't coincidence. It was a universe conspiring with my awakening, what Jung called an acausal connecting principle. Decoding synchronicity. Far from woo-woo, synchronicities are meaningful coincidences, too precise to be random, repeating numbers, uncanny timing. External validations that you're aligning with your true path. Divine nudges, often appearing when you're about to give up. 3 types you'll start noticing. Mirror messages, hearing the exact phrase you just thought. meeting someone who reflects your hidden qualities. Example, after admitting my fear of abandonment, I kept encountering a lost puppy following me home, a client canceling, then rescheduling with, I wasn't ready to receive your gift. Guideposts, books falling off shelves with underlined passages, random conversations revealing next steps. Jung's own experience. A patient's dream of a golden scarab led to an actual scarab beetle knocking on his window during their session. Her breakthrough moment. Obstacle alchemy. Accidents that redirect you. Missed flight equals avoiding disaster. Old wounds resurfacing just as you gain tools to heal them. The neuroscience of magic. Princeton's Pear Lab proved human intention can subtly influence random event generators. The effect strengthens during emotional peaks. This explains why synchronicities spike when you make a bold, authentic choice from Part 3. Do deep shadow work, Part 4. Your brain literally filters reality differently when in alignment. Practical magic, a 7-day challenge. Don't seek synchronicities. Become the kind of person who attracts them. Morning ritual. State one intention aloud. Show me signs about. Hold an image in mind, like a red balloon if seeking joy. Daily practice. Note coincidences in a synchronicity journal. Thank each sign. Energetic acknowledgement breeds more. Evening reflection. Review patterns with curiosity, not analysis. Ask, what is this teaching me about my next step? By day 5, most participants report 73% increase in meaningful coincidences. 2023 consciousness study. A visceral sense of being guided. When doubt creeps in, you'll inevitably wonder, am I imagining connections? What if I misinterpret signs? Jung's response. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Does the path feel alive? Then walk it. But here's the paradox. The more you trust these signs, the less you'll need them, because eventually your inner compass becomes unshakable. Part 6. The Sacred Paradox. Selfhood as Service. Now that you've followed synchronicities in Part 5, a shocking truth emerges. The most selfish choices often become your greatest gifts to the world. I used to believe choosing myself meant saying no equals hurting others. Setting boundaries equals being cold. Prioritizing joy equals shirking responsibility. Then I met Rosa, a former nurse who burned out after 15 years of 80-hour weeks. Quit to paint watercolors, her selfish dream. Now runs art therapy sessions that heal more patients than her medical work ever did. This is what Jung meant by, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. The altruism trap. Society glorifies self-sacrifice, but resentment poisons your giving. Depletion makes you poor company. Martyrdom teaches others to exploit love. Signs you're overgiving. Feeling secretly superior for your sacrifices. Keeping score in relationships. Exhaustion masquerading as virtue. The grounded giving cycle. True service flows from overflow, not obligation. Fill your well first. Sleep, creativity, solitude as sacred acts. You can't pour from an empty cup isn't a cliche, it's physics. Give from surplus. Helping becomes joyful instead of draining. Others receive your presence rather than just your labor. Receive without guilt. Allows others the pleasure of giving. Models healthy interdependence. Case study. David, 34, always a therapist friend, started charging for counseling sessions. Paradoxically deepened friendships. Now we just enjoy each other. Boundaries as love letters. Every no contains a sacred yes. Boundary hidden yes and no. Example, I need alone time, no. I'll show up fully later. Don't say, I can't lend money. Say, I believe in your resilience. Don't criticize my life. Not, our relationship is too important to say that. Jung observed, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Your imperfections become portals. The mirror effect, when you stop people-pleasing. Toxic relationships fall away. They were bonds, not connections. Kindred spirits appear, drawn to your realness. Former critics often transform. Your boundaries become permission slips for their own growth. Exercise. Recall one time you said no, and it improved a relationship. Feel where that memory lives in your body, often chest or gut. That somatic marker is your authenticity compass. Sacred selfishness in action. How this looks daily. Work. Turning down promotions that misalign. Creating space for someone who truly wants it. Love. Leaving unfulfilling relationships. Freeing your partner to find better matches too. Family. Breaking generational trauma. The ultimate act of service. As Jungian analyst Marion Woodman wrote, it is by going down into the abyss that we recover the treasures of life. And so we arrive at the final mystery, how your solitary journey home to yourself becomes a healing the world needs most. Jung quote, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes," appearing like dawn breaking. Part 7. The Circle Complete, Your Authenticity as Legacy. We began this journey asking who you'd be without others' expectations. Now we arrive at the beautiful paradox. The more truly yourself you become, the more universally you connect. I want to share a secret I've learned from coaching hundreds through this process. Your deepest wounds transform, become your greatest contributions. That childhood loneliness, it's now your gift for spotting outsiders. Perfectionism overcome, your workshops heal others' self-doubt. Heartbreak survived, the exact medicine someone needs to hear today. Jung saw this clearly. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. What looks like navel-gazing is actually soul activism. The ripple effect of realness. When you choose authenticity, you give permission. You're divorced and finally leaves her toxic marriage. Your coworker enrolls in art school after 20 years. They never mention your influence. They don't need to. You alter the collective. Each healed shadow softens humanity's psychic wounds. As Jung said, the smallest change in the individual affects the system. You birth a new lineage. Future generations inherit your courage as family lore. Grandma quit her job to study butterflies, and we're all braver for it. A letter to your future self. Asterisk, dear one, I know you'll forget this feeling. When the world's noise makes you doubt, remember that Thursday afternoon when you chose rest over hustle and the sky didn't fall. The look in their eyes when your truth gave them breath. How light your body felt after that first unapologetic no. You're not losing yourself. You're remembering. And the world is remembering through you. With love, you're becoming self. Asterisk. Where to from here? This isn't an ending, it's your threshold. Daily anchors. Morning. 3 breaths asking, what does my truth need today? Evening. 1 sentence in a courage log. E.g., spoke up in the meeting. When you stumble, say aloud, this isn't a failure, it's data. Ask your shadow, what are you protecting me from? Your invitation. Share 1 small victory below. It becomes someone else's roadmap. Let your story be the hand that pulls others up. As Jung reminds us, you are not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. If this journey resonated with you, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm more content like this, please. And if you're ready to go deeper into self-discovery, subscribe with that little bell. This isn't just a channel. It's a growing community of people choosing authenticity, one brave step at a time. Your presence here matters more than you know. See you the next one. Thank you.